DACA? We're asking because GoDaddy founder Bob Parsons is donating almost $1 million to help provide scholarships to dreamers at ASU. The U.S. Supreme Court is expected to rule this spring on President Trump's decision to end the DACA program. So we want you to cast your vote right now at 12news.com/bullhorn or comment down below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. The results minutes away. Hashtag most clicked. Here are the stories piquing everyone's interest right now. At number 1, shock and disbelief as we learn new details in the case of a mother who admitted to killing her 3 children in Phoenix. Court paperwork shows 22-year-old Rachel Henry told police she smothered each of her 3 young kids. The children, a boy and 2 girls, all ages 3 and under. The state says Henry had drug problems, specifically with meth. She's facing 3 counts of first-degree murder. Coming in at number 2, Arizona Cardinals favorite Larry Fitzgerald is making headlines again. According to a release from the Phoenix Suns, Fitzgerald is now a minority stake in the NBA franchise. In the release, Suns managing partner Robert Sarver wrote, "Larry has been a great ambassador for our organization for years. He is an Arizona icon and a businessman, passionate philanthropist and leader," end quote. Since joining the Cards, Fitz has been seen regularly sitting courtside at Suns games. Now to our nation's capital. After a long and bitter debate to the open proceedings, senators are listening to opening arguments in the impeachment trial of President Trump. Overnight, senators ended a marathon session on Capitol Hill. They worked 13 hours hammering out the rules on how the trial will play out. The changes include allowing more time for each side to present their case. Keeping you safe now, Toyota is launching a massive recall involving millions of vehicles. Toyota is recalling 3.4 million vehicles worldwide because an electronic defect could result in airbags not deploying in a crash. Most of the affected cars were sold in the U.S. The recall covers the Toyota Corolla, Matrix, and Avalon, produced between 2011 and 19, and is linked to one report of a fatal crash. Toyota dealers will make repairs if necessary, and the company will notify owners of the recall in mid-March. Now to saving you money. If you are looking for good resale value out of your car, buy a Subaru. Subaru has been awarded Kelley Blue Book's Best Resale Value in Overall Brand. This year marks the 4th win for Subaru, which previously won the same honor back in 2011, 15, and 16. Subaru won in the compact car category with its Impreza, midsize with the Legacy, and its Forester, Crosstrek, and Outback SUVs. The average new car will only retain 37% of its value after 5 years. The top 10 models awarded by KBB are projected to maintain 50% or more of their value after 5 years, which could save you thousands of dollars when it's time to sell. Now to your pulse on health. Spikes in your blood pressure when you're young could be a sign of bad heart health later on. Researchers analyzed 30 years of blood pressure readings from nearly 3,400 people. They found variations in the systolic blood pressure, or the upper number, by the age of 35 was associated with a higher risk of heart disease in middle age. Scientists say doctors and young patients should pay attention to any increase in the readings because there's still time to make lifestyle changes. Pregnancy and breastfeeding may lower the risk of early menopause. Researchers looked at data from more than 100,000 women of childbearing age. Women who had at least one full-term pregnancy had a lower risk of an early menopause than those who had never been pregnant. That risk dropped even more with each additional pregnancy. Women who breastfed for at least 7 months were also less likely to experience early menopause compared to those who nursed for less than a month. Well, the deadly virus that has the world on edge has reached the U.S. The first case has been confirmed in Washington state, and as a result, 2 more U.S. airports will be screening for the disease, Chicago and Atlanta. But how did this infection even begin? Let's connect the dots.
A mysterious respiratory infection discovered in China is starting to spread, with a case now reported in the U.S. So where did the coronavirus come from? Let's connect the dots. This outbreak started in December at a seafood and poultry market in eastern China. Right now, scientists believe it started in an animal and spread to humans, but is now being spread from human to human. Symptoms include a runny nose, cough, sore throat, and sometimes fever. For those with weakened immune systems, it can cause illnesses like bronchitis and pneumonia. And this outbreak has already turned deadly. So what's being done to stop it? The CDC has been deployed to China to help their health officials. And passengers on flights arriving from several airports in the U.S. from eastern China are being screened for signs of coronavirus. To avoid getting it, doctors recommend avoiding contact with infected people and to wash hands and surfaces frequently. And that's connecting the dots.
Well, it was a rare foggy morning in the Valley of the Sun. Let's check in now with Crystal for your Forecast 411.
A little snow for show at Horseshoe Bend today. Kind of looks like somebody sprinkled a little bit of powdered sugar out there. Have you ever noticed when you're standing out when the snowflakes are falling, or maybe when the snow has just covered the ground, that it sounds a little bit quieter? That's because all of these nooks and crannies in the snowflake trap sounds from cars, people, and animals, and it's almost like hitting that mute button. Kind of neat. Speaking of snow, on this day, back in 1937, Phoenix recorded an inch of snowfall, tying the 1933 record for most recorded snowfall ever. And some valley neighborhoods recorded 4 inches of snow. Today was all about the fog to start, but we're brightening up as we head into the rest of the afternoon. We keep that sunshine around tomorrow, and we're back in above average territory. Looks like the 70s are here to stay from tomorrow through the weekend and beyond.
Great looking week ahead. Thank you. Well, this next story is really getting a lot of attention. A Texas family is getting sued by their neighbors over a playset. 3-year-old Colton Costa was born with a terminal disease. His parents recently bought him a large playset so the little boy can enjoy himself as much as possible while he still can. But the family's neighbors disagree. They're now suing the Costa family over that big structure, saying it violates homeowners association restrictions. Their lawsuit calls for the Costas to permanently remove the set and pay their legal fees. The Costas say the set was pre-approved and claim their neighbors believe it brings down their property value.
No good. Oh, this is terrible.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It is a rivalry game for a reason. A brawl broke out at yesterday's basketball game between University of Kansas and Kansas State. The Jayhawks should have been focusing on their win, but instead, that fight got so bad it actually spilled over into the crowd. Severe suspensions are expected. And by the way, in case you're wondering, Kansas did win 81-60. Well, leaping lizards. We've all heard the saying, it's raining cats and dogs, but what about iguanas? Oh my gosh! Right now, it is so cold in Florida that the National Weather Service is warning people to watch out for falling iguanas. Can you believe this? But don't worry, folks. They may look dead, but they're not. They're just cold-blooded and a little stunned by all the weather. Imagine seeing that, and I definitely would not pick it up. Ew, stop it. Okay. In other news now, Terry Jones, a member of the Monty Python comedy troupe, has died. Jones's agent says he died last night. In a statement, his family said he died after a long, extremely brave, but always good-humored battle with a rare form of dementia. Jones was 77. He was part of Monty Python's Flying Circus. Their quirky humor helped revolutionize British comedy. Jones appeared in the troupe's TV series and films, including Monty Python and the Holy Grail. United Nations experts say Amazon founder and Washington Post owner Jeff Bezos' phone was hacked after he received a file sent from an account used by the Saudi Crown Prince. The two experts called Wednesday for an immediate investigation by the United States. Bezos' private investigators said his phone was likely hacked after receiving a video file from the Saudi prince's WhatsApp account in 2018 after the two exchanged phone numbers at a dinner in California. Saudi Arabia has called the allegations absolutely illegitimate. Well, time now for A to Z 60, where we celebrate the people, places, and things that make the Valley so awesome in just 60 seconds. If you love American Ninja Warrior like my family does, well, you're probably excited that it returns this Sunday night. But if you can't wait till then, Colleen found the perfect place where you can test out your own ninja skills.
Look, I'm not an athlete by any stretch of the imagination. Running, not my thing. Jumping, also not my thing. But the new FitCore Extreme Obstacle Course here at Desert Sky Park in Gilbert is pretty cool. So we're gonna check it out.
I'm obsessed with the show.
Tasia Roberts is a mom.
We did it! and she uses this obstacle course to get a total body workout.
We did it! I'm out here training. I'm not expecting to be the next American Ninja Warrior, but I just want to be a fit mom, healthy for my little guy.
And these are obviously designed, you know, after the TV show, but let me tell you, it's a lot harder to do it yourself.
Like, significantly harder. I think it's definitely a mind game.
Now this is a lot of work on your hands, and woo, we do have a little bit of a pro tip from Tasia. If you're gonna come and do this, make sure you got gloves. I already have started some blisters, so bring them with you. And that's your A to Z 60.
Oh, poor Colleen, but A for effort. My little guy Zach would love that. Well, let's get back to today's talker. How should the Supreme Court rule on DACA? GoDaddy founder Bob Parsons is donating almost $1 million to help provide scholarships to dreamers at ASU. The U.S. Supreme Court is expected to rule this spring on President Trump's decision to end the DACA program. Right now, 66% of you would uphold it. 34% of you think that the Supreme Court should strike it down. Keep on voting on 12news.com/bullhorn, and those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, feel free to comment down below. Time now for the look ahead, the stories you'll be talking about a little later on today. A high school senior in Texas is being told that he can't walk at his graduation unless he cuts his dreadlocks. Coming up on First at 4, we'll have the details on this developing story. And that's your 12 at 12, the facts on everything you need to know in just 12 minutes, no commercials. We're always on, anywhere, anytime on 12news.com, the 12 News app, and our socials as well. We hope you make it a wonderful day, everyone. We'll see you back here again soon.